Good afternoon. Today I am going to present my first English YouTube video. For some time I have been thinking of doing videos in English, but I have been postponing it for some time. Today I am starting it, but this is an exception only. Most of my videos will be in Malayalam itself. Occasionally I will do one or two videos in English. Okay, your opinions are most welcome. Today we are going to talk about the third cricket test match between India and England, which concluded about 2 to 3 days ago. Those who are not interested in cricket, please wait. You don't have to skip the video, because although I am talking about cricket in the first 2 to 3 minutes, after that, using this example of cricket, I am going to talk about some things which are applicable to other fields also. Those who like cricket, those who have watched cricket, would have noticed that India have lost that test match, the third test match. Many a time we had the upper hand, but at the end we ended up on the losing side. What were the reasons? Just like in life, in cricket also, we tend to look towards the end part only, the reason part only, and we tend to ascribe the reasons, positive and negative, to the last part, conveniently forgetting the initial few parts. Here also, where did India actually lose the test match? There were many causes. The drop catch by Rahul on day 2, the 116 runs added by the England's final 3 batsmen, or rather bowlers, on day 2, the dubious ball change on day 2 initiated by India itself, then the 63 extras that we considered across both the innings, and last but not the least, the run out of Rishabh Pant, when we were conveniently moving forward at 248 for 3, and we were all set to achieve a very good first innings lead. Those first innings runs would have been crucial. It would have meant that we didn't have to chase that much in the fourth innings. But Rishabh Pant got run out. It was an exceptional fielding effort by England captain Ben Stokes, but that was an unnecessary run, a suicidal run. What was the reason for that run? The reason was pretty much obvious, but then the obvious was confirmed the day after in an interview post-day by Rahul itself. KL Rahul wanted to achieve the century, his individual personal landmark, before the lunch break on day 3. There were about 1 or 2 overs. I think it was the last over before lunch. So he had communicated this to Rishabh Pant, his co-batter, about 2 to 3 overs ago. So Rishabh Pant wanted to help Rahul achieve get his 100 before the break. So he took off for a non-existent single and he got run out. Here, the core problem is that an individual milestone, 100, was placed ahead of what was important for the team. That is a big mistake. That is why, among all the mistakes that we did during the third test, I think this one was the one which is most unforgivable, at least from my viewpoint. Because you have to place the team before yourself. In any team event, be it sport or in life, individuals are important, but it's all about the team. It's all about the system. That is more important. Individuals are there for the team to win. But here that was forgotten. This is not the first or last instance that this is happening in Indian cricket. Here I have to appreciate the honesty of Rahul. At least he owned up to that and agreed upon that thing. He could have easily rejected it, denied it, and then nobody could have proven it. But at least he was honest. So I appreciate that honesty. But that it doesn't take away the fact that individual milestones were given more importance than the team tactics. But why is this happening? Can we always blame the players for this? No. There is some error in the part of the players, but here the basic error is among the system, the thinking of we the people itself. We always tend to place individual milestones above team efforts. All the fans, all the support are for individual milestones. We want the heroes, we want the villains, we want the superstars, the megastars. So here the reward is more for the stars, for being the stars, for achieving individual milestones. Whether it be the primordial humans or the present day humans, our brains are so tuned to act in such a way so that to get maximum rewards. It takes effort, it takes courage, it takes composure to suppress that primordial instinct and go for another better option, holistic option. Not all people would be able to do that, and certainly not at all times. So if this thing has to change, if we have to prevent people from going after individual milestones, our own mentality will have to change. We don't have to give so much importance to individual milestones, whether it be 100 or a 5-wicket haul or a 10-wicket haul or any achievements in any field. Of course they are important, but they become important once it forms a part of the system. The system has to move forward. It has to take the team or the system forward. Only if that's useful in that regard, then only the individual milestones become important. Unless this basic cultural shift, the shift in the mentality of people, we people come, this hero villain thing will go on forever. And as the reward systems are more inclined towards the heroes, people will tend to do more and more things, sometimes atrocious things, sometimes stupid things, sometimes so-called brave things, so as to become the hero. And it doesn't strike a good picture. So I think I urge all of you, including myself and all of you, to have a slight change in this hero worship mentality. And absolute heroes and absolute villains exist in cinema or virtual world only. In real life, there is no absolute villain and there is no an absolute hero. There are people who are part of the system. There are people working for a common cause. There are people who help each other, who complement each other to achieve a common target. When a good team joins together, they perform at a notch higher than the sum of all the components. If you add up all the components and if your team is performing above that, then that's a good team. If you add up all the individual components and the team is striking below that performance, then that doesn't make of a good team. So we have to have this change of mentality where the team is given the utmost priority, whether it be in cricket, life or in any other field. Hero worship can wage. I think the team has to take the first priority. Such a change in mentality would help us in all the fields. I think it may decrease the masala of the industry, of the field, but again in the longer run it will be good. It will be more healthy change, I think. These are some of the thoughts that went through my mind. Another thing is that nothing succeeds like success. It's an age-old proverb, and once more the third test provided another example for this thing. If Indian team had won, then we would not have criticized so much all these changes and all these errors that we committed. Because India lost, everyone, including myself, are looking into these errors in a more severe manner. Had England lost, then some of the errors committed by England would have been looked upon in a much severe way. That shot played by Harry Brook on day 4, some of the other decisions, etc. So, if a team wins, then individual errors get hidden to a bit. But if the team loses, if the system loses, then they get highlighted. In life also, if we achieve success, then many of the steps, many of the decisions taken by us would be appreciated. The same decisions done with the same intent and with the same purpose, same effort, would not be appreciated if it doesn't result in success. So we can sit here and talk all day about the importance of trial, attempt, the effort, etc. That is true up to an extent. That is required. We need to tell the people who have competed and yet failed. We need to talk like that to people to encourage them, to prevent them from getting demotivated. But again, at the end of the day, the hard truth is that every one of us, regardless of the field, would be judged based on our success. So we have to have good effort, but again, along with that, we have to have that skill, that magical skill of achieving victory. That skill is very much important in life. We don't often talk about that skill. It doesn't strike a pretty picture if we just talk about victory only by any means. It doesn't mean victory by any means. We have to try, we have to play fairly in life and in sport. But at the end of the day, the way people look into you, the society, the people, and you yourself look into your efforts depends on whether you have won or not. So the art of winning, it's an important thing. These are some of the thoughts that went through my mind after watching the third test match. Again, the fourth test match starts in 8-9 days time. I hope, as being a supporter of Indian cricket, I don't like to use the term fan, and I'm not a fan of anyone or anything. Being a supporter of the Indian cricket team, I would like to see Indian team bouncing back. I would like to see a good proper test match where there is a contest between bat and ball. And I would like to see India leveling the series to all, and all of us going into the fifth test, that as being a decider. That's what I want to see. We'll wait and see. Just like in life, we don't know how sport plans out. So thank you. This is my first English video. I would like to hear the opinions of all of you regarding the English vlog. Thank you.